All right, just to the general Inyan of Tu Bishvat, um, and why it's important, and it comes out during the weeks of the Shovavim, which are weeks of Tshuva.
Totally forgot about that.
Okay, and so very apropos.
Show it by trying to stay away from.
Right. So about all the sins that there are since the Genesis. There was originally the first sin, the sin of the earth, already on the third day of creation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, there should be eitz pri ose pri, right? There should be fruit trees that make fruit, and then the pasuk says vatotze aretz, right? Eitz ose pri. It was originally supposed to be that even the wood, everything of the tree would be edible. You'd have tam pri even in the wood itself. Like the one thing that's like resembles that original tree that it was supposed to be is the esrog, and that's also we should not forget. Tonight is the night you have to dam to have a good esrog, on Sukkot, right? Because esrog is like the one tree that's closest to what trees were meant to be. Now, the Mekubalim say, we'll jump ahead and then we'll connect. And then when Adam sinned, by no coincidence, Chet A Tzadasi sinned with a tree, right? And then Arura Ha'adama Ba'avurecha, that all the problems that agriculture, whole field of agriculture is not going to be perfect. That's all because of Chet Adam Marishan. But now here's the thing. Everyone asked the Kasha, right, how did the earth sin? The earth doesn't have Bechira, earth on Yom HaShlishi. But the truth is, it's all connected, right? Because where was Adam? Adam has Bechira, right? Where was Adam's neshama prior to it being having been put in his body on Yom HaShishi, right? So the pasuk says, the Zohar says, Totze ha'aretz nefesh chaya, right, on Yom HaShishi, zu nafsho sh'adam rishon. So Medrash also. That means that his neshama was in the ground. That means the ground was alive with his neshama on Yom HaShlishi. So it's called that really, it's Adam's chet, right? What the ground did wrong on the third day. And that's why, by no coincidence, the ground gets punished also for his sin, because it's all one long sin. His neshama was in the ground, on Yom HaShlishi, and but it's because his neshama that the ground had bechira to do something wrong, and then that neshama went into his guf, and he did what he did wrong, and HaKadosh Hu punished the earth and the Adam together. Wow. Right? Okay, so that's all, and of course, these are days of tshuva. So by no coincidence, Tu B'Shvat is a little bit of a tikkun for all that thing, which is all tree related. But now let's tighten it a little bit and get a little bit more into the particulars. It's really not a long shmooze. Right? That we know Ki Ha'adam Eitz Hasodeh, right? A lot of places in in Tanakh, man is himself. Vaya k'etz shasu al palgei mayim. Until I'm like the tzaddik is like the eitz that's shasu on many, many waters. Tzaddik katam ar yifrach. The list just goes on and on and on. Valeu lo yibo, etc. It just goes on, and that's what the Zohar says, that when Moshe Rabbeinu told them Raglim, check hayesh ba eitz im ayin. Do they have a tzaddik that'll protect them? That's chusin to protect them. Right, man is called a tree. So why is that? And now we know Al Pi Kabbalah, and this is why Tu B'Shvat, the makor for it, how it's a big chag, is all Al Pi Sod, because Al Pi Sod they call reality itself the Ilan HaKodesh. Right, they draw charts, which are all just a mashal, of course, of as it were, it's an upside down tree, right? The roots are in heaven. And from heaven, the sap branches down to different olamas. There are olamas that are like the left branch of the galaxy, of the reality, right branch of reality, etc., etc., etc. Now, the truth is, the Maral, even before the Maral, the Sefer Yashar HaMiyuchas Rabbeinu Tam says when the Torah says, or when Chazal, give man is like a tree, same idea. These are the roots. These are the roots. Your roots are, you're an upside down tree. Our roots are on top. And that's the side, that what Chazal say, Kol mi she'ein bo das, l'sof golem imkomot. It's Gemara in Sanhedrin, so the Maral explains, these are our roots. You have no das, you're not rooted. And that's why l'sof golem imkomo, you're not going to be able to hold your position. All right? All dvarim deflaim. Because the pshat is that the amazing thing about a tree, it's like the most efficient machine in reality. There's nothing like it. Like you try, And this is already, what I'm telling you is all from my Rebbe, Moshe Shapiro, Zichron Livracha. Things they told us in Shir was when once Shir came out close to Tu B'Shvat. It's an amazing thing. You try to make in a laboratory from air and water and some minerals a piece of fruit. Go ahead. Good luck to you. Right? Once heard, parenthetically, once heard from a biochemist that if they wanted to produce the amount of sugar that gets produced in one leaf in a laboratory, it would have to be a massive, massive factory, and it would be tons of waste product. What gets done, a little bit of sugar is produced in one leaf. It's a davar nifla ma'od that something goes right from Horatius to a gemar. And what's the big waste product? Oxygen. It revitalizes the air. It's amazing. There's nothing like it in reality. And you know what would have been? What would have been if it would have been Tom Eitzov Vipirio Shava? You know why things fail? You know why? Is that in the middle? You're all full of gusto at the beginning. That's the shoresh. You're all juiced up, and you got the goal. That's the pre. But in the middle, you lose the fire, right? What would help is that if you could have episatam of the goal the whole way through, you wouldn't lose the fire, you wouldn't lose the focus. And that's what the Swarm says, the side, the big, great cosmic damage, that the tree doesn't taste like the fruit, that's the shorish of all failure. That the stage in the middle, between everyone's hot on Rosh Hashanah, New Year resolutions, at the shorish everyone's hot, right? But no one makes it to the end because in the middle you burn out because there's no time in the middle. A lot of time when you first start, there's a lot of time by the goal, but between there and there, it all wears out, and that's the shorish of all the failures. And of course, what this has to do, also with the chet that we're coming to be metakin during Shovavim, is that when it never reaches the goal, that's called levatola. The koach never connects to the goal, it goes levatola, and that's all mushush in this right. That's why it comes out during Shovavim, when it's the time to metakin for this inyan, right? But what should have been is that reality is supposed to be the perfect machine that we take chiyus from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, those are the roots are above, and we'd feel the chiyus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and nothing gets lost in transition, and it will become lidei gemar maisa, right? Dvorei asher yetze pi, right? Volida v'itzmicha, Hashem says in Navi, my words, the word comes down, it's volida v'itzmicha. Right, it just lo yeshuva reikam, it does, but the reality got tainted. There's ra that gets in the middle, and that's what causes failure and things to not connect, things to not come to fruition. And the biggest pagam is that there's such a thing called ilone srak. There are trees that don't produce anything. That's like the biggest kilkul, right? So lost in love. So now amongst the other things that were supposed to be is that the fruits that would grow would be perfect finished products, right? And that's what Chazal say in the future. That trees are going to produce glucose, right? Bread and cake is going to grow on trees. Everything, meaning it won't need any further preparation. You won't have to cook it, you won't have to bake it. And that would be called, that the universe has been optimized. Everything is 100% optimal. And of course, in that state of optimal, you feel your kesher with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nothing got lost in transition. So that, the shefa comes down uninterrupted. And there's 100% absorption. Nothing gets lost along the way. Right? So now Tu B'Shvat is a little bit of tikkun of that now, and how and it's really Rosh Hashanah le'ilan. One of the prime halachic differences of Tu B'Shvat is how old the tree is, whether for Gabe Shnei Orla. This is like the birthday of trees. It's really the fruits aren't really growing yet. It's the trees start renewing. The sraf ole bailans, the sap is climbing, and that's like the zera that we're trying to be metakin, that should go to its target, not go levatola, right? The sap starts rising in the tree, but it's a schachus of the tree. Now, what it means in the micro of this year, like a lot of bracha was nigzar on Rosh Hashanah. It's on the books. It was written in the books, but that shefa that was nigzar has to now be processed. It has to be absorbed, and that's the side of geshamim. The geshamim that come down from heaven to earth, that's the shefa that was nigzar on Rosh Hashanah. It comes down but HaKadosh will give a lot of shefa. Who says you're going to absorb it? Tu B'Shvat Hasrafa, that the sap which came from the rainfall that fell for this year starts being Oile Be'ilonis. And from this point onwards, right, fruits are starting to grow mikoach the bracha of this past Rosh Hashanah. Everything we were eating until now is all leftovers from last year. We're living off the leftovers of last year. We're not living off the new chiyas that was nigzar on this Rosh Hashanah until Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat, it starts, the rain brought that shefa into the bria, but it still wasn't processed yet. But now on Tu B'Shvat, it's Saraf Ole Ba'ilonos, it begins to get processed, right? And we start to feel the bracha of this year. And just like it's that way in Gashmis and the fruit, everything we're going to start eating from Tu B'Shvat onwards grew from this year's rainfall, his bracha. Also in Ruchnias, all the Chidushei Torah, your Machadish, was Baker leftovers from last year. Right? Now there should be schachus of new chidushei Torah, new havonas, right? All types of new ashpos, also in ruchnias, and because the olamas are also called in eights, and the olam is called in eights, and now there's a shefa of newness of all the newness that was nigzar in this Rosh Hashanah begins to be processed, right? And it's a time to be mispalo. Once the process starts, that the process should be b'shleimus, right? And we have the tikkun hashalem, and all the trees will be healed, right? And the ilane srak will be healed, and all the kilkulim in the world will be fixed, right? So now we'll just give a quick prelude to what we're going to do now. We're ready to start eating, right? And so now we mentioned that the olamas are all called an elon, right? So now because of the kilkul, that there's ra, it stands that whatever's closer to the shorish, closer to Hashem, is more pure, and whatever's further away is less pure, right? So now, so kayadua in olam hazeh, the operating system of this world, there's 4 olamas: Atzilus, Bria, Yitzir, and Asiya. Right? So now Atzilus is kulo elokus. It's all kulo kodesh. We don't even have fruits that are keneged olam ha'atzilus, right? That are mamish 100% zero waste product. That means nothing would come out. No waste product would come out of the body either. As a result, we don't have anything like that. We have things that are, so we don't have fruits that are mamish keneged atzilus. Keneged atzilus, we're going to drink a cup of just white wine, white lavan, no dinim, right? Then we're going to gradually mix white and red. The proportions of how it gets more dindik, till when we get down to Asiya, we're going to drink a cup of just red, right? But in fruits, it starts from Olam HaBriya, because all the fruits are a little bit tainted. So it starts from Olam HaBriya. Those are the fruits like grapes, like apples, that you could almost eat the whole thing. You could almost eat, because even the pit you could swallow. So it shows kimat kulo edible, right?
Except for
right?
cyanide.
Right? Okay, well, just don't eat too many pits. Okay. And after that, then are the fruits connected. Olam HaYetzira. Olam HaYetzira is called half good, half bad. Right? Bria's Rubo Tov. Right?
Sorry.
No problem. Right? Olam HaYetzira. Right? Is so connected that are the fruits that are edible on the outside. Just on the inside, they have a big pit you can't swallow, which shows that the tov is sholet, it's makif over the ra. Because, it's just a big pit in the middle you can't eat. The fruits of olam ha'asiya, those are the ones with a thick peel on the outside. Thick peel on the outside, as if, unfortunately, the ra is makif on the tov. And you have to break through the klippas to get to what's good. So we're going to work our way down the chain from the roots down to the Lo Lazara being mechavan to be mamshich the shefa, to where it's easier to bring us to Bria, and even to pull it down to Yitzira, and even pull it down to Asiya. But we're also going to make a mezainis, connected how la'asid the trees are going to grow mamish cakes, right? And because one of the klalos was chita. Chita used to be a tree. Right, when Adam Rishon, there's a mandama that the eight that Adam Rishon ate from was a chita, right? So we have to make a mezainis, of how the chita got knocked down, and we're also going to make at the very end a ha'adam. We have a few ha'adamas in there, bananas and other things, because also tikkun, because it's called chet ha'adama, because after all, he was called Adam because it's made out of adama, and his neshama was in the adama prior. So we have to make a tikkun for that also. Let's get to work. Let's